remember this picture here? This not so tasty, it's a hamburger from school. Went viral back in November. School officials in Pennsylvania say that it was an overcooked burger patty that they served to students for lunch.
Ugh. A lot of you commented on that story, asking about local school cafeterias and who makes sure the food is safe. Our investigative reporter, Carter Coyle, dug in to find out what's being served up.
We wondered who is keeping track of food safety and how can parents check for themselves. I sorted through hundreds of these cafeteria inspection reports from the state to find out. They sometimes aren't the most appetizing reports to look through. Some school cafeterias in South Carolina have had problems with bugs, rodent droppings, and mildewed ice machines. I checked 3 years of State Health Department school cafeteria reports, sorting by county and grade. The good news is the majority of local schools get A ratings every time they're inspected.
Does that surprise you?
No, not at all.
Why not?
Because we work really hard and you know, we have a procedure. They give us these great binders we have to go by.
Kay Laura Black has worked in school cafeterias for 20 years and is now the cafeteria manager at Sanders Clyde Elementary in Charleston. Her staff serves around 600 meals a day.
Let me get milk.
From the minute the food coming off of the truck, we have to inspect it to make sure they're not damaged or maybe they're not thawed and refrozen.
She says getting a high DHEC score does take constant work. It's pretty obvious to lose points for things like bugs and dangerous grease buildup, but you can also lose points for not throwing away a dented can from the pantry or even not having a bright enough light bulb.
You have to be very, very careful on the little things because say if you put something in the cooler and it's not date and labeled, then we lose 2 points on DHEC with that. If you put something on the floor that's not supposed to be on the floor, then we lose points off of that.
In a statement, DHEC tells me top standards are expected in schools because children under the age of 9 are considered to be a highly susceptible population, and that means they're considered at greater risk of foodborne illness and complications. Maintaining proper food temperatures is critical.
It may read 35 out here, but once we open it, we have a temperature thing in here, and it also reads, see, it says it's in the safe zone.
And the same goes for hot foods. They do multiple checks with a thermometer as hungry students line up.
I stick it in the chicken, a couple of them, so I can get the correct temperature.
It's just right. They say today's lunch is a big student favorite here, chicken and waffles with spinach salad, fruit, and milk.
Thank you.
It is important for parents to know we care about your children.
Charleston School's nutrition field supervisor, Joseph Pettit, says DHEC's inspections are always a surprise. Depending on a school's inspection history, they may come once a year or as many as 4 times a year.
We do follow the same inspections as any other restaurant does, in the same regards as DHEC coming in and looking over some of the stuff. And I think sometimes maybe even a little stricter, even a little more stringent than some of the restaurants I've worked in before.
One protocol our school cafeterias have is they freeze a sample tray of that day's food every day and they keep it for 7 days. That way, if a kid does get sick or make a complaint, they can actually go back and look at a sample of that day's food.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And that's exactly what Charleston County School of the Arts did last year when a student took this video claiming to find a worm in her sweet potatoes. The district told us DHEC came immediately and found no sign of contamination. In the records I pulled over the last 3 years, 5 South Carolina schools got C rankings. None were in the Low Country, and those were all in 2014. No South Carolina schools have received C rankings in the last 2 years. 12 B rankings were assigned to state schools over the past 2 years. One of those Bs was in Georgetown County and one was in Colleton County. But all schools in those 2 districts have now gotten A's over the last year. School cafeterias in Charleston, Dorchester, Berkeley, and Williamsburg counties have gotten all A grades for the last 2 years.
Not really surprised. It's what, not only is what we expect, but it's what they take pride in.
One year I got a 98, and I was so mad that I got a 98 because I lost the 2 points on something that could have been avoided. The simple thing is not storing food on a milk crate.
Since then, Black and her lunch ladies
This is Miss Janelle.
have been determined.
Of course, we made our 100 again. We got our ear.